I think that we really pride ourselves on a sense of community, being supportive to each other. I think that really helps facilitate connections with professors and with students ourselves.
It's definitely a fun and interesting learning environment. It's a much smaller faculty than, for instance, psychology or engineering. So you really get to know a lot of your profs, a lot of your fellow students, and that just makes it feel much more like a group of friends than a group of colleagues and acquaintances.
And every single professor has something unique and different to offer. Every one of them focuses on either literature or film or linguistics, and every professor is very dedicated to their students. You can always go ask questions. You can always feel like they're really putting in 100% to make sure that you understand the material. And I really like that almost every single class is discussion-based. You're not sitting there just filling out grammar sheets or something that, you know, would be boring. You're really learning the language through talking, through doing role plays, through reading material that's actually really interesting.
And the professors also have a tendency to bring a lot of character to the department, whether that's as a result of three-piece suits or sheep sock puppets or inflatable hammers or whatever the case may be. Each class certainly has a unique flavor to it.
I took a really diverse amount of classes here, which is really great that they offer that many different types of classes. I've done analyzing literary works from plays and poems and novels to professional German, where I was able to understand how German business works and how to conduct myself in the business sector. We learned how to write resumes in German and cover letters, so this was something that could be very applicable for us later. I've done discourse analysis, where we analyze different types of communication, understand how to analyze them, why people are saying certain things in certain situations, how to teach grammar in a foreign language. I've really taken a diverse amount of courses here.
I find that one of the most interesting classes I took was probably exploring the German language, where I had the opportunity to look into what I found interesting, and that is the different dialects of German.
I really enjoyed that course because you got to actually analyze the language, whereas previous classes I just spent a lot of time, lots of time and effort learning the language. So it was nice to actually apply what I learned at that point and to see a completely different perspective.
Yeah, so we started German Society a couple years ago just to keep that community going, not just inside the classroom but outside as well. Usually it's professors always invited, grad students, undergrads, to really keep that really strong sense of community going. We've done a lot of different events, from Schnitzel Night at Concordia Club, to trivia nights, to movie nights, Oktoberfest, which is always fun.
What did I learn? Well, I learned to speak German. I came to university not even planning to study language, and that kind of just started in German 101, and I did a co-op abroad, and all of a sudden I had this love for German that I wanted to continue. So leaving university, learning a second language is probably one of the things I'm actually happiest about when I'm leaving university.
It's really made me more sensitive to language and how people communicate, and how to take a text and really dive in and analyze it and look at all the possible meanings and really dissect language.
Obviously, I was able to learn more about the German language, but I found that in addition to that, there is this global outlook that you gain from learning about a culture that's different from your own.
I think being a German major or studying any foreign language really opens up your world. Living in Canada, you live in such an enormous country, you think that your world is so large. But then when you learn a foreign language, when you learn German, you realize how much bigger your world gets. So I got accepted to a master's program at U of T, which I will be starting in the fall, but where I will become a teacher through that. But I took German as a personal reason to better my German, to be able to make that connection again with my home country, to be able to speak to my relatives again in German. So I'm definitely always going to use my German every day in my personal life, but I'm really open to hopefully have it somehow slide into my career as well through teaching.
Longer term, this is where the psychology comes in a little bit. I'm hoping to either go on and work as a clinical psychologist. And another possibility that I think would be very, very exciting and very interesting is working for the Canada Security and Intelligence Service, who always have a demand for people who have knowledge of foreign languages, who have seen other parts of the world, who have cultural sensitivity and awareness. So I'm hoping that the future will be bright and interesting.
I plan on taking maybe a year off, but I've also applied to a master's degree here in Waterloo, and I'd love to do a degree